I mean, I don't really know what the argument is. Like, so do I just like
I mean,
not
the argument is that, I mean,
like I did a catch yesterday. It's
personally with
nighttime. There's no catch. I
Well,
mean,
the 14-year-old girl.
Fine.
Okay, yeah.
I'm doing my investigation.
Got it. Yep.
Okay. I don't know who you are, but you want to
Yeah.
have a seat or step back? I'm doing my own investigation. I know
Yep.
what it looks like.
I mean, I'm not talking about like catching preds and you're for the kids or not. I'm just talking about in this community, and extraordinary amount of time was spent focusing on Tommy Boy Studios instead of, maybe a plan of attack of just like keeping up with what was going on with Ed's case.
well, let me ask you this: if Tommy Boy wanted to make that point against PHI, like let's say, okay, you left, you actually doxed yourself, you left this information up there. Like, if you're actually trying to not have a predator catcher identified, why would you not blur it and just make the point?
I mean, at that point, to me, Ryan, like 4 months of things had already been going on with Tommy Boy
No,
Studios.
that's a simple question though. Like, that's just that
I just-
question alone. Why wouldn't he blur it if it was just trying to make the point?
I mean, I think that the point that he made to me, and what I didn't realize at that point, is that, not only had this news article been on her community page, but it had been on her community page, like even when she's outing Josh, like even then in February. So, I mean,
Well,
like that
I mean,
then it was like, this guy's going around, he's doxing me. And it's like, it's still on your community page right now.
I mean, but if he was trying to make that point, then why wouldn't he blur it? I mean, that was the question.
I mean, to me, that, I don't know, that's a creator's decision. But I mean, I saw I mean, it drove home the point to me that, I mean, not only it was on our community page right then. When
So
she's
if a
talking about,
predator catcher just comes out, and let's say they are excited about passionate about their case, and let's say they don't really think to be anonymous, so they put their they do put their face and name on an article somewhere, and then way later, some guy just doxes you over that. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, of all the catchers that I really follow and support, I know their first and last name. So, I mean, I guess if I just kind of go back to, I don't necessarily
consider that a
see the
redox,
big
though?
deal of knowing the first and last name and what their face looks like.
But wouldn't you consider that a redox?
No, I wouldn't.
I would.
I wouldn't.
Because if you're saying, I don't really know how to break this down. I mean, it's quite literally saying if you dox someone's name and dox someone's face, I guess like Tommy Boy isn't doxing because that's what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see the argument. But if you redox a predator catcher, like it's okay. I don't see the argument.
So to spot an autistic adult in your life is, do they have communication challenges, or do they communicate in a very different way? Like I do. Do you find them constantly asking questions or interrupting you while you're trying to tell them something? Do you find yourself being peppered with follow-up questions that aren't always even relevant to the topic of the conversation? Autistic adults often like to question every point of a conversation, dissecting every last word. I do this with my wife all the time. I do it to process what I'm hearing so I can understand it and I can contribute. Of course, that doesn't mean it's not incredibly frustrating for the people in the conversation with me. I get that. But critically, without the endless questions, for the most part, autistic people will tend to simply misinterpret what you're saying. So, but for all these endless questions, we may never interpret correctly what you're trying to convey to us. So there's a point to them. They're just frustrating. So as an autistic adult, let's say with my wife, if I'm having a conversation or she's trying to tell me something, and let's say I decide I'm just going to listen from start to finish, suppress all urges, the chances are I'll misinterpret what she says and I'll launch some sort of counterattack. So I'll take it the wrong way and attack. Anything that I don't understand is a personal attack on me and I must attack back. Or I'll just go off on a tangent that's completely irrelevant. Autistic adults can also become disinterested in conversations really quickly. We can lose focus and patience. And honestly, sometimes I'll just say to my wife, can you just get to the point? What are you trying to tell me? Can you just tell me what you're trying to tell me? And often there is no point. See, as an autistic person, it doesn't occur to me that people would talk when they have no point to make. They would just talk. My wife is entitled to just vent, to just debrief, to just bitch. She's entitled to just tell me a story. No point, just a story she wants to share. For an autistic person, this can be very confusing. So it works both ways to understand it, where it's coming from both sides.